Well, welcome Beans to what is my attempt at a few top tips for making a short video, specially made for you for this event, Shock and Awe. Your challenge, of course, with your students, you'll have a team of 10 students, you will be the director and it will be your challenge to produce a video in the 4 hours on the Friday afternoon. This you're about to see is taking me the same amount of time. I've used my home and my immediate location and a few small resources to put this video together, nothing else. So, Tom, closing on this beach to the south of Lima. Okay, don't forget that including a bit of movement and activity in your video as you're doing a piece to camera will often give a new dynamic to your video and keep that attention of your viewer. Using night and day as a contrast in the same location keeps your viewers on their toes. So remember, when you're thinking about the design of your video, you have to think about a certain amount of cuts because attention span isn't what it used to be. So change of scenery, or it could be the same scenery but at a different time of the day. It might be clouds in the sky, or there might be a blue sky, or indeed it could be at night like tonight. So I found myself a location here on my roof. I've got a lamp here that's fixed to the wall for lighting the roof, and I'm using that as my lighting scene. Should you want to film somewhere where you haven't got a convenient wall lamp, I'll take you across to the other side of the roof and show you a quick tip on how to cope with that type of situation. Right, here we are, take two, and I'm on the roof. You can see it's night time. I'm not in the other location on my roof where we have a light, and I use that to light the scene. Here I'm simply using a head torch. So, top tip for nighttime filming: find yourself a light. The speed at which you pan, of course, is very important. Get it too fast and you'll leave your viewers giddy. Get it just right and your viewers will feel comfortable and at ease with whatever it is you're wishing them to take in. And of course, if you are focusing on something in particular, make sure you don't just talk and film. Get plenty of different angles. And do remember, if you're interviewing, it's important to get the interviewers nodding responses to the questions that are being answered. Simple technique: finish your videoing, reverse your camera, film from behind of the interviewer nodding. So, we call these noddies. Okay, remember video has sound as well, and you can use that to your advantage in demonstrating your angles of sustainability for your signature project. Test of sound. However, Beans, sound quality is going to be your biggest drawback or your biggest limitation. These cameras have limited microphones. You have to be within a certain distance, and if there's any background noise, you're fighting against it. So please do check, when you check your takes, after your final take, when you're happy with a shot, don't just check the visuals, check the sound quality as well. You'll get used to what it sounds like on your camera. So there you go, check your sound quality. So just a quickie, you might remember this scene from the very beginning, opening credits of the video. I quite simply used the whiteboard, you've guessed it, and wrote up my titles there. Animation, simple animation, you can also use using this technique, so come armed with coloured board pens and anything else that you might want to animate your whiteboard with to edit into your video. So if it's location you're after, think carefully, think imaginatively about the site here at Euroamericano, here in Pachacamac. It's a wonderful site, and of course you could be in La Selva. Of course you could find yourself in La Sierra. Buena Vista. Or you could be here on the coast. And if you're planning of walking and talking at the same time, ensure your edits and direction of movement across the screen are carefully choreographed. As of course all this could make our viewers extremely giddy. And of course, should you have a long list of things that you need to sort of communicate to your viewers, then you could use the old newsflash trick. And to end the programme tonight, a newsflash just in. Students from schools across Lima have been meeting in Pachacamac over the weekend, trying to put together what they feel education will look like 2014 and into the future. During the process, they have been designing and working with Lima experts on aspects of sustainability, and their initiatives, I am told, will include innovation, continued professional development for the staff at their schools and the institutions themselves. They will be international and local in their context. They will embrace and encourage the green economy. They will involve information and communications technology, digital technology to you and me, and they will be collaborative in their nature, involving the multi-stakeholders from the local and wider communities. So all that's been happening in Pachacamac over the weekend. We bid you good night from the news team, ESD 2014 Plus, shock and awe. The most important part of your equipment list will be a tripod. And second to that, I would suggest have a second camera. You're going to be chewing through SD cards, memory cards and batteries. The last thing you're going to want is to be delayed in filming because you're charging a battery. So a couple of cameras is a good suggestion. Plus your bits and bobs that you'll have worked out to bring beforehand to help your students in their storytelling. And I threw in the chair. And finally, a note about continuity. If continuity in your film is important, then make sure that your situations and your dress, the amount of light, points are noted so that later editing is made much simpler